when Alaskan Bush People first premiered on television, viewers were instantly captivated by the Brown family's rugged lifestyle, their deep connection to the wild, and their determination to survive against all odds. Among the family members, one stood out for her youthful energy, bright spirit, and unique perspective: Rain Brown, the youngest of the Brown siblings. Over the years, fans watched Rain grow up on screen, transforming from a shy, imaginative girl into a strong, independent young woman. But as the cameras continued to roll and the family faced new challenges, many began to wonder what really happened to Rain Brown. Where is she now, and how has her journey shaped the person she's become? Rain Brown was just a child when she first appeared on Alaskan Bush People. Born Merry Christmas Catherine Raindrop Brown in November 2002, she quickly became a fan favorite for her candidness, creativity, and resilience. Growing up in the remote wilderness of Alaska, Rain's childhood was anything but ordinary. She learned to hunt, fish, and build shelters alongside her siblings, all while navigating the harsh realities of life off the grid. The Brown family's unconventional lifestyle was both a source of strength and a constant challenge, requiring each member to adapt, improvise, and support one another through thick and thin. For Rain, the experience of growing up in front of millions of viewers was both exhilarating and overwhelming. On one hand, she cherished the close bond she shared with her family and the freedom of living in nature. On the other, she struggled with the pressures of fame, the scrutiny of the public, and the expectations that came with being a reality TV star. Rain often spoke about feeling different from other kids her age, not just because of her upbringing, but because of the unique challenges she faced as the youngest member of the Brown clan. As the years went by, Rain's journey became more complex. The Brown family faced a series of hardships, from health scares and legal battles to the devastating loss of their patriarch, Billy Brown, in 2021. Billy's passing was a turning point for the entire family, but it hit Rain especially hard. She had always been close to her father, who encouraged her creativity and supported her dreams. Losing him left a void that was difficult to fill, and Rain was open about the grief and confusion she felt in the aftermath. Rain's struggles didn't end there. As she entered her late teens, she began to speak more openly about her battles with mental health. On social media, Rain shared her experiences with depression, anxiety, and the pressure to live up to the expectations of fans and family alike. Her honesty resonated with many viewers, who saw in her a reflection of their own struggles. Rain's willingness to be vulnerable and authentic made her a role model for young people everywhere, proving that it's okay to ask for help and to prioritize your own well-being. Despite the challenges, Rain never lost her sense of hope or her determination to keep moving forward. She leaned on her family, her faith, and her love of music and art to help her through the darkest times. Rain often posted uplifting messages and creative projects online, encouraging her followers to stay positive and to find beauty in the world around them. Her resilience and optimism became a source of inspiration, not just for fans of the show, but for anyone facing their own battles. As Alaskan Bush People continued to evolve, so did Rain. She began to take on more responsibility within the family, helping her siblings and mother navigate the challenges of life without Billy. Rain also started to explore her own interests and passions, from songwriting and singing to advocating for mental health awareness. Her journey was far from easy, but Rain's strength and authenticity shone through, earning her the admiration and respect of viewers around the world. But what is Rain Brown's life like now? How has she coped with the ups and downs of fame, family, and personal growth? And what does the future hold for this remarkable young woman? The answers reveal a story of resilience, transformation, and the enduring power of hope. In the aftermath of her father's passing, Rain Brown found herself at a crossroads. The loss of Billy Brown was not just a personal tragedy, it was a seismic shift for the entire family. For Rain, who had always looked up to her father as a source of wisdom and encouragement, the grief was overwhelming. She spoke candidly about the pain of losing him, sharing with fans that she often felt lost and unsure of how to move forward. The cameras captured moments of vulnerability, but much of Rain's healing happened away from the spotlight, in the quiet moments she spent with her family and in nature. Rain's journey through grief was complicated by the unique pressures of reality television. While most people are allowed to mourn in private, Rain's every move was scrutinized by viewers and the media. She received an outpouring of support from fans, but also faced criticism and speculation about her mental health and her role within the family. Rain responded with remarkable maturity, using her platform to advocate for mental health awareness and to encourage others to seek help when they needed it. She reminded her followers that grief is a deeply personal process and that it's okay to take time to heal. During this period, Rain leaned heavily on her siblings, especially her older sister Snowbird. The two shared a close bond, supporting each other through the ups and downs of life in the bush. Rain often credited her family with helping her stay grounded, even as the world around them changed. Together, the Brown siblings worked to honor their father's legacy, continuing the homesteading lifestyle he had taught them and finding new ways to adapt to the challenges of living off the land. But Rain's journey was not just about survival, it was about growth. As she entered adulthood, she began to explore her own identity and passions outside of the family dynamic. Rain's love of music became a central part of her life. She started writing songs, sharing snippets of her work on social media, and even hinted at the possibility of releasing her own music in the future. For Rain, music was more than just a hobby. It was a form of therapy, a way to process her emotions and connect with others who might be going through similar struggles. Rain also became more active in advocating for mental health. She used her growing platform to speak openly about her experiences with depression and anxiety, breaking the stigma that often surrounds these issues. Her honesty resonated with fans, many of whom reached out to share their own stories. Rain's willingness to be vulnerable helped create a sense of community among her followers, proving that even in the most difficult times, no one has to face their struggles alone. Despite the challenges, Rain found moments of joy and hope. She celebrated milestones with her family, embraced new adventures, and continued to find beauty in the world around her. Rain's social media presence became a source of inspiration for many, filled with uplifting messages, creative projects, and glimpses into her life in the wilderness. She encouraged her followers to find their own sources of strength, whether through art, nature, or the support of loved ones. As the Brown family adjusted to life without Billy, Rain took on more responsibility within the household. She helped her mother, Amy, and her siblings maintain the homestead, learning new skills and stepping into a leadership role. Rain's growth was evident not just in her actions, but in her attitude. She approached each challenge with determination and a sense of purpose, determined to honor her father's memory by living life to the fullest. Through it all, Rain remained true to herself. She refused to let fame or tragedy define her, choosing instead to focus on the things that mattered most: family, creativity, and personal growth. Her journey was far from easy, but Rain's resilience and authenticity continued to shine, inspiring viewers and reminding them that even in the darkest times, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. As Rain Brown continued to navigate the complexities of adulthood, she found herself increasingly drawn to the idea of self-discovery. The years spent growing up in the Alaskan wilderness had given her a unique perspective on life, but they had also left her with questions about who she was outside of the Brown family legacy. Rain began to explore her individuality, seeking out new experiences and opportunities that would help her define her own path. One of the most significant changes in Rain's life was her growing independence. While she remained deeply connected to her family, she started to carve out space for herself, both physically and emotionally. Rain took trips away from the homestead, visiting friends and exploring new places. These adventures allowed her to see the world beyond the bush and to imagine a future that included both her roots and her dreams. Rain's willingness to step outside her comfort zone was a testament to her courage and her desire to grow. Rain's journey of self-discovery was also reflected in her evolving sense of style and self-expression. Fans noticed her experimenting with different hair colors, fashion choices, and creative projects. She shared her love of art and music online, posting original songs, poetry, and artwork that offered a glimpse into her inner world. Rain's creativity became a powerful outlet for her emotions, helping her process the challenges she faced and celebrate the joys she found along the way. But Rain's path was not without its obstacles. The pressures of fame, the expectations of fans, and the ongoing challenges of life in the wilderness all weighed heavily on her. Rain was open about her struggles with anxiety and self-doubt, acknowledging that there were days when she felt overwhelmed by the demands of her unique life. She spoke candidly about the importance of self-care, encouraging her followers to prioritize their mental health and to seek support when needed. Rain's honesty about her struggles resonated deeply with her audience. Many fans saw themselves in her journey, finding comfort in her vulnerability and strength in her resilience. Rain's willingness to share her story helped break down the stigma surrounding mental health, creating a space where others felt safe to share their own experiences. Her social media became a community of support and encouragement, a place where people could connect over shared challenges and celebrate each other's victories. As Rain embraced her individuality, she also began to think more about her future. She spoke about her dreams of pursuing a career in music, traveling the world, and continuing to advocate for mental health awareness. Rain's ambitions were big, but she approached them with the same determination and work ethic that had defined her upbringing. She knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but she was committed to following her passions and making a difference in the world. Rain's relationship with her family remained a central part of her life. She continued to support her mother and siblings, helping to maintain the homestead and navigate the challenges of life without Billy. Rain's bond with her sister Snowbird was especially strong, and the two often leaned on each other for support and guidance. Together, they honored their father's memory by carrying on the traditions he had taught them and by facing each new challenge with courage and grace. Through it all, Rain never lost sight of the importance of hope. She believed that even in the darkest times, there was always a reason to keep going, to keep dreaming, and to keep believing in a better future. Rain's journey was a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of self-discovery, and the enduring strength of family. As she continued to grow and evolve, Rain Brown inspired countless others to embrace their own journeys, to face their fears, and to find beauty in the world around them. As Rain Brown's journey unfolded, she became more than just a reality TV personality. She emerged as a voice for her generation, especially for those who felt different or misunderstood. Her willingness to share her struggles with mental health, her creative pursuits, and her evolving identity resonated with young people everywhere. Rain's story was no longer just about surviving in the Alaskan wilderness, it was about surviving and thriving in a world that often feels overwhelming and uncertain. Rain's advocacy for mental health became a defining part of her public persona. She regularly used her social media platforms to talk about the importance of self-care, therapy, and reaching out for help. Rain encouraged her followers to break the silence around depression and anxiety, reminding them that it's okay to not be okay. Her openness helped to destigmatize mental health issues, especially among young viewers who looked up to her as a role model. Rain's message was simple but powerful: you are not alone, and there is always hope, even when things seem darkest. In addition to her advocacy, Rain continued to nurture her creative side. She poured her emotions into songwriting, often sharing snippets of her music with fans. Her lyrics reflected her journey, touching on themes of loss, resilience, and the search for meaning. Rain's music became a way for her to process her experiences and connect with others who might be going through similar struggles. She also explored other forms of art, from painting to poetry, using creativity as a tool for healing and self-expression. Rain's relationship with her family remained a source of strength and comfort. The Browns faced ongoing challenges, from harsh weather and unpredictable living conditions to the emotional toll of losing their patriarch. But through it all, Rain and her siblings leaned on each other, drawing on the lessons their father had taught them about perseverance and unity. Rain often spoke about the importance of family, describing her siblings as her best friends and her mother as her greatest supporter. The bond they shared was evident both on and off screen, a testament to the power of love and loyalty. As Rain matured, she also began to think more about her place in the world and the legacy she wanted to leave behind. She expressed a desire to use her platform for good, whether through music, advocacy, or simply by being a positive influence on those around her. Rain's sense of purpose grew stronger as she realized the impact her story could have on others. She wanted to inspire people to embrace their true selves, to pursue their passions, and to never give up, no matter how difficult the journey might be. Despite the challenges she faced, Rain found moments of joy and fulfillment in everyday life. She cherished the beauty of the natural world, often sharing photos of sunsets, wildflowers, and the breathtaking landscapes of Alaska. Rain's appreciation for the simple things served as a reminder to her followers to find gratitude in the present moment. She encouraged others to slow down, to connect with nature, and to find peace in the world around them. Rain's journey was also marked by a growing sense of independence. She began to make decisions for herself, exploring new opportunities and taking risks that would help her grow. Whether it was traveling to new places, trying out new hobbies, or pursuing her dreams in music and art, Rain approached each new experience with curiosity and courage. Her willingness to step outside her comfort zone inspired others to do the same, proving that growth often comes from embracing the unknown. Through her ups and downs, Rain Brown remained a beacon of hope and resilience. Her story was a testament to the power of vulnerability, the importance of family, and the strength that comes from facing life's challenges head-on. As she continued to evolve, Rain showed the world that it's possible to find light even in the darkest times, and that, sometimes, the most extraordinary journeys begin in the most unexpected places. As Rain Brown's story continued to unfold, she found herself at the intersection of past and future, tradition and transformation. The legacy of the Brown family was always rooted in resilience and adaptability, and Rain embodied these qualities as she faced new chapters in her life. While the world watched her grow up on television, Rain was quietly building a foundation for her own future, one that honored her roots but also allowed her to dream beyond the boundaries of the Alaskan wilderness. One of the most significant developments in Rain's life was her growing sense of agency. No longer just the youngest member of the Brown family, she began to assert her own voice and make choices that reflected her evolving identity. Rain started to take on more leadership within the family, helping to organize projects, solve problems, and support her siblings through difficult times. Her maturity and insight became increasingly apparent, and her family often looked to her for guidance and encouragement. Rain's journey was also shaped by her willingness to embrace change. As the Brown family relocated from Alaska to Washington State, Rain faced the challenge of adapting to a new environment. The move brought new opportunities but also new uncertainties. Rain approached the transition with an open mind, eager to learn and grow from the experience. She explored the forests and mountains of their new home, finding inspiration in the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. The change of scenery also gave Rain a fresh perspective on her own life, prompting her to reflect on where she had been and where she wanted to go. Throughout these changes, Rain remained committed to her creative passions. She continued to write music, sharing her songs with fans and using her art as a way to process her emotions. Rain's music became a diary of sorts, chronicling her journey through grief, healing, and self-discovery. She also began to collaborate with other artists, expanding her horizons and learning from those who shared her love of creativity. Rain's willingness to be vulnerable in her art resonated with listeners, many of whom found comfort and inspiration in her words. Rain's advocacy for mental health also continued to grow. She participated in online campaigns, spoke at events, and used her platform to raise awareness about the importance of mental well-being. Rain encouraged her followers to seek help when needed, to practice self-care, and to support one another through life's challenges. Her message was one of hope and solidarity, reminding people that they are never alone in their struggles. Rain's authenticity and compassion made her a trusted voice in the conversation about mental health, and her impact extended far beyond the world of reality television. Despite her many achievements, Rain remained humble and grounded. She often credited her family, her faith, and her fans for helping her stay true to herself. Rain's gratitude was evident in the way she interacted with others, always taking the time to listen, offer encouragement, and share her own experiences. She understood that her journey was not just about personal growth, but about lifting others up and making a positive difference in the world. As Rain looked to the future, she did so with a sense of optimism and excitement. She spoke about her dreams of recording an album, traveling to new places, and continuing to use her voice for good. Rain's journey was far from over, and she approached each new day as an opportunity to learn, grow, and inspire others. Her story was a reminder that life is a series of chapters, each one building on the last, and that the most important thing is to keep moving forward with courage and hope. Through all the changes, challenges, and triumphs, Rain Brown remained a symbol of resilience and authenticity. Her journey inspired countless people to embrace their own stories, to face their fears, and to believe in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. As she continued to write her own narrative, Rain showed the world that it's never too late to grow, to heal, and to find your own path, no matter where you start. As Rain Brown steps into the next chapter of her life, she does so with a sense of wisdom and self-assurance that belies her years. The journey from a little girl in the Alaskan wilderness to a young woman forging her own path has been anything but easy. Yet Rain has emerged stronger, more compassionate, and more determined than ever to make a difference. Not just for herself, but for everyone who has followed her story. Today, Rain continues to balance her public persona with her private life, finding harmony between the demands of fame and the need for personal peace. She remains active on social media, where she shares glimpses of her daily life, her creative projects, and her ongoing journey with mental health. Rain's posts are often filled with messages of encouragement, hope, and authenticity, reminding her followers that it's okay to be vulnerable and that healing is a process, not a destination. Her openness has created a supportive online community, where people from all walks of life come together to share their stories and lift each other up. Rain's relationship with her family remains a cornerstone of her life. She continues to support her mother, Ami, and her siblings as they navigate the challenges of life without Billy. The Browns have faced their share of hardships, but their bond has only grown stronger in the face of adversity. Rain often speaks about the lessons her father taught her, about resilience, kindness, and the importance of staying true to yourself. These lessons continue to guide her as she moves forward, shaping the woman she is becoming. Creativity remains at the heart of Rain's journey. She is still passionate about music, writing songs that reflect her experiences and emotions. Rain has hinted at the possibility of releasing an album in the future, and her fans eagerly await the day they can hear her voice in a new way. She also continues to explore other artistic outlets, from painting to poetry, using creativity as a tool for self-expression and healing. For Rain, art is not just a hobby. It's a lifeline, a way to process the world and connect with others on a deeper level. Rain's advocacy for mental health has also become a defining part of her legacy. She regularly participates in awareness campaigns, collaborates with organizations, and uses her platform to educate and inspire. Rain's message is clear: mental health matters, and no one should ever feel ashamed for seeking help. Her courage in sharing her own struggles has helped countless people feel less alone, and her commitment to breaking the stigma continues to make a real impact. Looking ahead, Rain Brown is filled with hope and excitement for the future. She dreams of traveling, of meeting new people, and of continuing to grow both personally and professionally. Rain is determined to use her experiences, the good and the bad, to inspire others and to make the world a little brighter. She knows that the road ahead will have its challenges, but she faces it with the same resilience and optimism that have carried her this far. Rain's story is a powerful reminder that life is not defined by the hardships we face, but by how we choose to respond to them. Her journey has been marked by loss, struggle, and uncertainty, but also by growth, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. Rain Brown has shown the world that it's possible to find light in the darkest places, to turn pain into purpose, and to build a future filled with hope. As fans and viewers continue to follow her journey, one thing is clear: Rain Brown's story is far from over. She remains a beacon of strength and authenticity, inspiring others to embrace their own paths and to believe in the possibility of a better tomorrow. Whether she's singing, creating, or simply sharing her truth, Rain continues to touch hearts and change lives, proving that even in the wildest, most unpredictable circumstances, it's possible to find your way home.